Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. My name, as you can see on your screen right now, is Graham Day, and I'm joined by the man that we call Bibby.
Good Tuesday morning.
Good bonfire night day.
It
Do
is
you call it
bonfire
bonfire
night.
day, or is it bonfire night?
It's
still?
Burn Guy Fawkes Day.
Okay, that's the one. Burn Guy Fawkes Day. So welcome, 5th of November, Tuesday, the second day of another week of The Scoop on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. Every day, 10 a.m, Monday to Friday, we bring you the tidbits, the news, the goss, the behind the scenes, the scoop of all of the games industry news. We give you our take on everything that's happening every day, 10 a.m, twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. And then, if you can't be here live, you can jump in the chat, join the conversation if you are. But if you can't, it'll be going live on YouTube a little bit later on in the day. And a little bit later after that as well, we will be live on podcast services. Well, the content will be live. We won't be. We will be like doing something else. But the content will be there. You can check it out. iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, Google Play, 4 podcast services. Absolutely no reason just to not sit and listen to these two northern blokes chat shit. Ladies and gentlemen, get involved. You know you want to. We have five-ish news articles. They're pretty slow news day, to be fair, but you know we can give you all the
Make the use of what we've got, mate.
Yeah,
I've been doing it for 28 years, so...
What, the scoop? Bloody hell, it's honestly like 5 weeks to me.
I've aged so well.
No spawn, just drink my Starbucks coffee.
You can sponsor us if you want, though. That'll be nice.
What's that?
They can sponsor us if they want, though, because it'll be nice coming towards Christmas.
Oh, just imagine those.
All the little spice lattes and whatever else that they decide
the
to
red
do.
cup or whatever was all over my Twitter yesterday. Full on. I mean, they know I'm a man that drinks coffee because it was just like everywhere. Every tweet, scroll past one.
Sponsored.
Yeah, absolute placement. Oh, I can see. If you're on Twitch as well, make sure you type ! Socials. Do you know what? I'll do it for you. ! Socials.
Chatbot working?
Chatbot's dead. Yeah.
Uno memento.
So whilst Bib does that, I will tell you why you should type ! Socials. When it works is because our Twitter account has just given you a taste of what we're going to be talking about today. So the tweet just going live 28 seconds ago on twitter.com/Ice Cream Uploads or at Ice Cream Uploads. You can search for that across all social media. Twitch are in the middle of a streamer war, and a Fortnite pro has been banned for cheating. These stories and so much more in today's serving of The Scoop. Shout out to Connor. Yeah, for getting those tweets out. I'm going to give that a little bit of a retweet with comment now. Do you know what? This is social media live, and I'm absolutely 100% not padding for Baby fixing the chatbot again. So annoying how the chatbot keeps like jumping out. I think it's all on you, that Bib.
No, it says, because I know why it is. It's because our connection down here decides to die at like 11 o'clock every single night.
Boo.
So you have to keep on booting it back in because it lets you have 5 separate connections. It attempts to do reconnect 5 times and then dies.
Fuck this shit, I'm dead.
That's pretty much what it says. I'm trying to find where it goes live again. I found it.
They're retweeted. Okay, I've done my retweet of the social stuffs.
Right, try again.
Let's try it again. ! Socials. Boom. Yeah. That man.
Hell.
Give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Got my poppy on. I just realised as well. I didn't even notice that. There was a good job because
You've not worn that bomber jacket since last year, clearly.
No, I put it on Saturday. I bought a new one on Saturday. Although that does pretty much happen. I've got a long brown jacket that I tend to wear only at winter. And yeah, last year I went to Old Trafford. Nice box seats, jobby. So I went full and tied up with Lee. So I kind of went nice, but then took my dregs with me as well from the ice cream team. But yeah, I didn't wear it again then after that until like, I think it was like February or something. I put it on and the poppy's still there. I was like, well, a little bit late now. So yeah, this one.
Everyone has a winter coat.
I got it on Saturday, and it's a good job that I've just seen it in the camera because there's a pin sticking through my jacket. No doubt I'll impale myself.
Pierce yourself.
Live on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. If you are in the chat, please feel free to say hello as we get jumped in. Get jumped. How about we just jump in to the first piece of news of the day? So this is the schedule from The Scoop.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Let's spoilers.
Now we know. Now you know how the magic goes. Hey, none of you's been copying and pasting that shit. That's ours.
Get out of here. So this is the first news article of the day by Tom Phillips, news editor from Eurogamer. Luigi's Mansion 3 is Nintendo's biggest launch of the year. Who'ver that thought?
I don't know how to come up with this.
Pow. I mean, literally, those taglines, best thing ever. I mean, we should stop at that. Or we should just do like an episode of The Scoop where we just have taglines and you have to guess what the story is.
And we'll just call it Punny Guys.
Yeah!
Right over the mic.
Crisp high five. Have that in your ears. So let's jump into the news. This is from Tom Phillips here again. He says Mario's little brother has gone and grabbed the biggest Nintendo Switch launch of 2019. Bigger than Super Mario Maker 2 and Zelda Link's Awakening. Luigi's Mansion 3 arrived second in the chart this week behind Call of Duty Modern Warfare, but is unmistakably a success for Nintendo. Launch week physical sales are more than double those of its 3DS predecessor, Luigi's Mansion 2, and that's not counting Nintendo's now healthy split of digital sales detailed by the company to investors last week. One caveat to Luigi's Mansion 3 sales is it had one extra day on the sale versus Mario Maker 2 and Link's Awakening, as its launch coincided with Halloween on Thursday rather than the traditional Friday release. But there's no doubting the game's quality. This third entry feels more like Luigi's left the haunted house and gained free reign around the neighbouring theme park. Eurogamer's lovely Tom Phillips wrote in our Luigi's Mansion 3 review. Do you know, I can't say that. The apostrophe in the middle of Luigi's Mansion.
It just throws you off every time.
But what a theme park. The only Switch game's likely to trouble Luigi's sales record this year, and to be honest, they will likely overtake him at Pokemon Sword and Shield due later this month. Mm-hmm. The top 10 is as follows. Call of Duty Modern Warfare, 1. Luigi's Mansion 2 in second. Third was FIFA 20. Fourth, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Fifth, Outer Worlds. And yeah, the rest we will just leave as is because we don't need to run through it all. So...
highly excited that Ring Fit Adventure is still 7. Well, it's still in the top 10.
Do you know? I'm impressed that it is. Let's bring you by. Look, you coming close. Hi. Yeah, I'm impressed that it's in there. We covered it like, was it 3 weeks ago?
Mm-hmm.
And I literally hadn't heard of it before then at all. Not seeing it. Not it. Yeah, no idea. And when we were watching that video of some person with like a Mario Kart 8 steering wheel, kind of like squashing it about a bit. It's
an
like,
18-inch steering wheel.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to break that bad boy. So yeah, I heard nothing of it. So yeah, interesting that it's in there and it's still there as well.
What about there's a game that's number 9 that's... I cannot believe, like I need to find out if someone is in the chat that can do that can search for us really quick. That'd be great. But GTA 5 is still in the charts and it's still hanging on at number 9. It's still in the top 10. Why?
Phenomenal. I mean, there's got to be something that covers that. I mean, I think there's a few things that make it consistently there. So in the same way that a FIFA or a Modern Warfare will kind of be ever present in the chart. It's online content. People are opening packs. People are making kill streak montage videos or whatever, and so people keep buying it because it's one of those ever-present games. And that's the same thing with GTA 5 in some sense.
Does this only go off sold copies of the game, or not microtransactions within it?
Yeah, just sold copies.
Right. Okay. So FIFA 20 just constantly keeps on selling thousands of copies every single week. I mean, the run up to Christmas is going to get even bigger. I imagine it's probably going to break into the top 1 or 2 again.
It usually is. Usually is Christmas number 1, purely because. Absolute stereotyping here, but purely based off my own experience. It's kind of like dads go, yeah, I want to play games with my kid. He likes football. Let's get a football game at Christmas. Yeah, FIFA usually does jump back up, but GTA 5, I'd be interested to see kind of like a Google Trends sort of thing as to GTA 5 sales and going up and down the chart.
I'm gonna do it,
but. No, you probably won't be able to do it because I want to know like what the content trends would be with that.
So like when they release a new heist.
Yeah, or if it's not the actual game itself, but like for those of you that might not have seen any content on GTA 5 online, it's not just the gameplay that kind of makes it sell so well. There's a massive modding scene out there, obviously not official and approved by Rockstar, but there is a huge modding scene, and you've got like Pokemon mods and you've got all sorts of other things. So when a new fresh mod hits that's inventive or takes it to the next level, GTA 5 then suddenly gets a spike, or you'll get the a new RP server goes up, so GTA RP, which is role playing, where you create a specific character within the game. So I'm like, I don't know, cameraman, and Bibby's like a supermodel, and we're a duo walking around. Dead straight. We're walking around. What is it? Real world cities now? Is it New York, or is it still like Liberty City and things like that?
No, I think it's still like Los Santos or wherever it is in there.
So yeah, we'll be strolling around Los Santos looking for a shoot, but we can't just steal a car because you have to treat it like a real world thing. We've got to get a taxi. We've got to pay for that taxi with the money that we've got. We get money from taking photos of the sex machine that is the bib, and then selling those photos to other people. But he could be some broad Mancunian bloke, and then I could be like some like very thoughtfully spoken Italian guy. Whatever. Luigi.
Like Mossy just said, they're all playing side of things has picked up. Good morning, Mossy. Hope you're doing all right, pal. Dad and Lad Gaming, RP side of things is amazing. Yeah, I mean, Summit was the guy that got me into watching the RP stuff, because Summit streams on GTA 5 are legendary.
What's the name of like this one particular RP like?
It's 5M.
It's what?
5M.
5M. Oh,
that's one that I was using anyway.
There was a different one that all of the streamers were kind of going into. No Pixel.
No Pixel, that was it. Yeah, but it was invite only one.
Yeah,
you had to register.
That's the massive one.
Yeah.
That like
no Pixel.
Waiting lists forever and ever and ever. But yeah, things like that. So we should do a GTRP on stream.
Yeah.
We should do that. Like have a 2-person. Like get everyone like to vote as to what sort of career-y kind of thing we go after.
I'd love to be able to create a character. You know, like obviously the Doc isn't the Doc. He's a person that's portraying a character. I break characters so often when I was in that game. Like I wrote my car off, and then I had to wait for a mechanic to come, and it was some like proper Texan American. Whether or not it was in real life, I have no idea. But,
some guy from Dudley.
Yeah, I couldn't keep the voice that I was trying to portray. I can't even remember what the voice was that I was trying to do. Like,
I can't remember what I was before. I was not that I ever did it.
Morning, Pirate.
I had an idea of a character when I was chatting to you, and it was just after I'd watched Michael McIntyre's sketch about spices and stuff in your cupboard. Have you ever seen it?
Yeah. I'm fast spice.
So that was the inspiration of my voice. But yes, morning, Dad and Lad. Morning, Mostacular. Morning, Pirate, as Bibbs has just said. But yeah, Luigi's Mansion 3. That's where we got off. So that is Nintendo Switch's biggest launch of the year. And do you know what? I've never played a Luigi's Mansion game. There's a lot of games that I've never played any of. But this looks sick. Yeah. Shout out to Asim Tanvir, which actually, slight tangent. Snap because one of your contracts. Yeah. Shout out to Asim Tanvir. One of his tweets the other day. It was just, there was nothing in it. It wasn't any spoilers. It wasn't anything miraculous that happened. It was just loving Luigi's Mansion 3 and Luigi's movements and stuff in it. And it's just a clip of him walking around a room with his torch. And I'm looking at it thinking, that looks fucking badass. And in my mind, we were talking about it yesterday, Switch plays like 1080p on screen, 720p on a little screen. I always think of it as like 720p, but then my head goes, 720p is not 1080p, so therefore it must be 160p. So everything in my head, less than 1080p, just looks like potato. And even though I have a Switch and I play games and it looks really good, and every time I think, actually, it's pretty tasty. Is this even on the go? And I just thought, nah, Luigi and Mario games, I've not really been a massive Mario fan. Since the SNES days. So yeah, and then I saw it and I was like, that looks crisp.
Well, Gary Witter on Twitter was saying that.
Hey, say that again.
Gary Witter on Twitter was saying that it was his game of the year.
Says Mr. T. Good morning, I said.
He said it was his game of the year. Luigi's Mansion,
nice.
Yeah.
See, what do you do? I know he's got a vacuum cleaner. Do you vac up ghosts and things?
Yeah, it's pretty much you're like a Ghostbuster.
Yeah, okay.
But you're Luigi.
Well, yeah.
That's one way of getting around any kind of copyright. Just to change the protagonist.
Who are you gonna call Luigi? Yeah. Just that clip. Asim says Luigi's Mansion 3 is awesome. Yeah. So that clip that Asim shared the other day, it's literally just showing off the movement of it, and just that was enough to make me think, okay, I may have to invest in this. And then, like, literally about 2 hours later, you WhatsApp me a link of 2 for £60 at Tesco, and Luigi's Mansion 3's in it. I was like, wow.
I can't believe that. I can't believe it. There's some banging games in that as well. I'm just scrolling through your Twitter feed here, Asim.
It was that one, such a lovely looking game. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, okay.
So we'll bring it on screen.
Don't copyright strike us. Now, it's coming through Twitter, so it is compressed to shit, and it looks like hey, I smashed lasagna. But yeah, eventually when it peeks through,
it's just normalised a bit there. You can see. Look at how crisp that looks. It doesn't even look like you're watching a game.
No,
it looks like you're watching
CGI film.
Yeah. That sort of something that's been properly polished, a Disney-ish level film.
It's shaking like a shitting dog. But no, I think this is the one that I could potentially get into. Obviously, being on a Switch and absolutely loving my Switch. It looks great, and the 2 for $60 at Tesco at the moment. There's no better time to get involved in any kind of Switch games. I still need to pick up Mario Kart. So
Asim says best Ghostbusters game that's not a Ghostbusters game. Give me all the Twitter monies. all the royalties will be coming your way straight away. So I mean, my only frustration with it is it comes at a time. I say at a time. It just has to slot into my already
PUBG
bursting
schedule.
at the scene list. No, because it's like, that'd be a good game to play over Christmas. I didn't say
I ding myself.
It comes at a time where I have I'm like, I'll play that at Christmas. I'll play that at Christmas. Yeah, I'll play that at Christmas in that 1 or 2 weeks off kind of thing where I have to play through all of Horizon Zero Dawn, all of Spider-Man, all of God of War, all of The Last of Us again. I need to play through the Volta storyline and finish that. Plus Luigi's Mansion 3, and we've got Overcooked as well if I've not played it before then.
Well, what day did you come back to Christmas? Come back in, mate?
On January.
Yeah.
It's quite late. It's like the 7th or 8th or something like that.
Same here, mate. Yeah. That's a lot of games over Christmas time.
Another Crisp by 5. That's 2 in a row. Bam.
I'm just trying to find the deal now so I can post it in the chat for you, pirate. Saying 2 for $60.
Do you know what?
I'll find it.
As soon as you mentioned PUBG, and we've been dinged for it, I'm going to show you this because for those people that have heard me whinge about the state of PUBG this last 5 weeks of the scoop, I remember to clip an image, a video of it last night that shows exactly what my issue with it is. So Bibby's just going to load that up now. But basically, I was playing on PUBG last night, and I'd just come from having like an 8-kill game, absolutely bossing. Oh man! Another clip that I didn't share was I turned with an arm and absolutely headshot some guy in the run. If he's not reporting me on like instantly, then I don't know what is. But this,
it doesn't autoplay. It should just keep on looping.
Well, yeah, this is on the back of an 8-kill win, crates and everything, people, arm headshots and stuff on the run. We get to a video that just won't play. Nice.
Oh, great. Oh. There we go. Try again. There we go.
Guy there shoots. He's long behind the corner and I dead. See if it'll replay it. So, where's he gone? Oh, there we go.
Oh mate, I swear to God, I'd have been fuming. Like the pad would have gone. Literally, he's there. He's just going round the outside. So it's like he's shot through both sides of the wall.
It's the decent though. Yeah. His shot's there. And then he's moved into cover, but after the shots that he shot there are what have killed me. But it's like a solid 2 seconds of things. So I'm thinking.
So this on the left-hand side here does this mean that the desync's gone to shit?
Well, the ping it jumps up to 191 there, which is quite hard to play. It's not like horrendous, but that's not even desync. My ping is fine, but the desync between what he's seeing on the Xbox connection and me on the PS4 connection, he's seeing things a good second and a half, 2 seconds or whatever it is in front of me.
Was you playing on your own there?
Yeah, solo.
So have you not thought of going back and playing it on your Xbox to try and, if you can't beat him, join them? Mentality.
No, because everyone I play with is on Xboxes and on PlayStation. Plus, I've invested in season passes and things, so I want a progression. But anyway, moving on. So that's my ding 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 ding. What was your ding 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 ding? Volta.
No, yeah, that was mine. Yeah.
Have you played any Volta recently?
Do you want to ding me? No, I played it on Saturday afternoon while watching Man United.
We didn't play on Saturday. No, literally, we didn't play on Saturday.
For those of you that are listening to this on any kind of audio podcast, that was Green Day crying because United did play on Saturday and got beaten.
Although I am going to watch him against the mighty Giants of Belgrade on Thursday, so...
Oh yeah, I was about to say, is that tonight, but it's Europa League, innit, so... Yikes. Moving on swiftly.
Shut the fuck
up. Okay, so we're going to go with this one, I think.
Are we going with this one?
Oh no, what was the other one? It's this one, innit? It's this one.
Yeah.
It's this one. I didn't put it into rotation.
Only because we picked it out like literally as the countdown timer was on screen, so we haven't read through this at all. So hopefully it's as tasty.
It's something that we touched on yesterday though, so it's kind of like...
So as you can see on screen, Horizon Zero Dawn 2 seems even more. And if I scrolled, that'd say more likely. There we go. Guerrilla may be working on a Horizon sequel. So we touched on this yesterday, talking about what games potentially could be coming in the future. And as this article by Eddie Makuch from GameSpot suggests, Horizon Zero Dawn was a critical and commercial success, so it's been somewhat surprising that Sony has yet to announce a sequel. That remains the case, but now yet another piece of evidence has emerged that Horizon Zero Dawn 2 is in development. A job listing at Guerrilla Games for a technical vegetation artist. I mean, we've got some absolute vegetation going on in the Ice Cream Upload studios. Shout out to the bit. A job listing at Guerrilla Games for a technical vegetation artist. That's linked via Games Radar. Specifically mentions that the candidate would be working on creating the stunning environments of Horizon.
I mean, they don't help themselves, do they? They want to try and keep these games. I mean, they have to put the adverts somewhere.
Yeah.
But there should just be like a gaming one that nobody has access to unless you're already in the realm.
Would you like to make trees?
yeah, something like that, because they don't help themselves being able to put these job opportunities on websites where everyone can see what the job opportunities are.
See, I kind of think this is like the dev teams and so on thinking, do you know what, this is our way of getting news out there. And not even the dev, it could be someone on a social side kind of things, or just the brand team going, okay, we're obviously Sony first party. Is it Worldwide Studios? Is that what Sony call their... Anyway, let's move off from that. But obviously they've got all of the... It does look gorgeous. That's the first one, isn't it? Yeah. So they've got all of Sony's... I'm sorry for the all the time and get distracted by watching a video of Horizon Zero Dawn footage on screen.
Which you can watch with us live if you're watching us on
or on demand on YouTube a little bit later on today. YouTube.com/Ice Cream Uploads. So Sony obviously used this as a major title for their marketing throughout. Was it not last year before? Mm-hmm. So Guerrilla obviously will have to adhere to a lot of what Sony wants to do with announcements, and Sony are probably thinking, okay, let's hold it back for the moment. We've got Death Stranding out now. We don't really need to trip over two massive first party single player games at the same time. So let's Death Stranding have its day, and then we'll start to talk about Horizon. But I mean, it could be a case of someone's just gone, oh well, the only way we can really get the best candidates is to kind of tell people that we're recruiting for Horizon Zero Dawn. If you say I'm recruiting for a game, quite a lot of
In essence, you want the best of the best, don't you?
So putting that in an article, you might think, oh, do you know what, we're doing it for recruitment purposes, but it could also be a fuck this shit. We don't want to be held to your timelines. We want to start teasing that it's coming, and it could be just a case of one of those what use of a phrase? Guerrilla marketing campaigns. Hey.
I see. I've never played this game, and I've seen it 1,000,001 times, and I think, you know what, that is definitely my kind of game. But I've just never got round to playing it. It looks great.
I played about 2 hours of it, but I think the fact that I didn't really know much...
Oh,
you got wrecked. The fact that I didn't really know much about it, and the fact that I had about 4 other games that I was choosing between playing at the same time, after my 2 hours kind of finished, I just kind of didn't go back up to it. Your device is having trouble keeping up. You may want to... blah, 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 blah. Unlucky bit. So yeah, I played a couple of hours and then didn't progress any further, but I think I was kind of at that cusp of where if you go a bit further, the story starts to develop into something. I'd not really built my story. I'd gone from young Aloy, who's the main character, to an older Aloy. I'd started to develop my skills and things like that, but I'd not got to the point where it started to become something meaningful. What you're laughing at?
I've just seen something in the chat. Someone called it Elst. Hello, I've made first contact with the whales, but I do not know what they are telling me. That is such an Alistair thing to say. I have no idea. But moving on. I mean, it's something that we touched on yesterday. We thought that this could potentially be a game that's coming out with the PS5. I think PlayStation Europe even ran polls to say what would you like to see on release, and this was one of the games that was in there.
So they had... So they had it in a poll.
Yeah, PlayStation Europe.
That's interesting to see that, because you don't get approval to talk about a game until it's been approved, even suggestively.
I think there was pipeline games though, so it was like GTA 6, Horizon Zero Dawn 2. and 2 others that I can't remember off the top of my head. But there was like Pipeline. There is no way these games are coming out for the PlayStation 5 kind of thing.
Just even the idea of like talking about usually it's like it'll be okay. Until it's officially announced, because there's all sorts of shareholder things, and you mentioning a game can influence stock market stuff, and you always see it with football games. Even though everyone knows there's going to be a FIFA 21, even though everyone knows there's going to be a PES 2021, it doesn't get spoken about until it's officially announced, kind of thing. And even though people might be talking about it like off the cuff without naming it, kind of thing, whatever games we're working on next or whatever. So seeing someone's from a PlayStation brand actually writing down the words Grand Theft Auto 6, and so when you kind of think it's rare to see that from an official. I mean, news and stuff, fair enough, but first parties and people that are involved in delivering the games themselves, you don't often see that. So
well, just skimming through the last part of the article, it said Guerrilla, which is based in Netherlands, has recently announced a plan to grow to 400 more developers with the aim of releasing a new game every 2 or 3 years. And then the very last paragraph, whatever projects Guerrilla, which is owned by Sony, is indeed working on, he seems they'll be releasing the upcoming PlayStation 5, which launches in holiday 2020. So yeah, I would probably suggest that there is going to be a game coming alongside the launch. I'd probably like to see something massive come with the launch of the new console. This definitely would shift more units as a bundle, but I mean, PlayStation 5 is going to sell itself at this point, regardless of what's coming out with it.
Do you know what I am looking forward to though now? Like, it's only just dawned on me that E3, and maybe not so much E3, because obviously E3 was impacted by Sony moving away this year, but whether that Sony are there or not, that period, so like the likes of the EA Plays and E3, and if there's a PSX PlayStation experience at that point in time, they are going to be the shit. There's just going to be so much stuff that get hardware, software, new games, new IPs, repeat IPs, and it's going to be a big period.
Well, this year I managed to go to Gamescom and I managed to do EGX, and I think the next big one that I wanted to do was PSX. I mean, E3s are well and good and all that, but I think PSX, that's the one that I want to go to. They don't do Nintendo ones, they just do Nintendo
or whatever, Nintendo Directs.
Directs, that they do online, but PSX would be amazing. Can you imagine being there when they announce massive games? I mean, you've done it with E3, but to a degree, first-party games when it comes to PlayStation and exclusives and stuff like that come there, that'll be amazing.
Yeah,
it's a perfect time next year as well.
It's kind of... It's like, what was it? It was Microsoft Connect. I remember that conference where Microsoft are going, oh, this is our new Connect, and it does like you can do movements and this, that, and the other, and everyone's like,
did you get a Connect?
No, I did, yeah. No, did I use it? No.
I played one game on it, no, 2 games. UFC Trainer. That was when I was trying to get fit, and I've just couldn't be fucking asked. And then Rise of the Nightmares, which was like, I want to say, what's the light gun? House of the Dead, but you use your body to shoot and stuff like that. Yeah, and you'd have to you'd have an axe and you have to swipe it on the screen. That was actually really good. I was like bollocksed after about half an hour, but that was actually really good fun. But the camera was so shit.
Yeah, it was pants. See, I bought it off of a visit to Game in the Trafford Centre, and they had I can't remember what it was. It was some football-y kind of game, but I don't think it was just football. It was like some overall sports package, and it was like taking penalties or free kicks or something. And I remember I struck 3 free kicks, and they just did exactly what I wanted. So like curving top corner, a nice low driven one, and then one other corner, and everyone. And I was like, this is the future. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. And then when you buy it and you get it home, and you've got to like move all your couch back, and you've got to turn your TV around, and then you're just kind of like going like, I'm only playing Dance Dance, but and there's nothing else to play. So yeah,
it reminded me of, it was kind of on the same par as the iToy. Like, it just felt like it didn't progress any more than that. Like, it just, for me, it just didn't work. Like, the Wii remote playing Wii Sports, playing the golf, was for me a lot more entertaining than playing with the Kinect.
Yeah, definitely. The thing with like the iToy as well, I mean, I remember being in agony. There was a boxing game, I can't remember what it was, and I remember I'm there going thinking, yeah, a bit of workout next day. Elbows absolutely agony, because you in a boxing, like if you're boxing, you're hitting someone, your arms don't go full lock, but when you're playing those games, your elbows are just locking. So next day I was like jumping back through comments. This is the reason I've not played in 2 weeks, says Danland Gaming. I'm assuming that's for PUBG. I have a feeling Last of Us 2 is going to be pushed back for the release. Interesting. So yeah, it's already been pushed back. I'm kind of feeling they're going to stick at that. because you get what they've done already with The Last of Us. You get 2 bites at the cherry. If that comes out in May, is it May 29th or something like that?
Yeah.
So it's pretty much June. That gives you almost 6 months of playing The Last of Us, potentially dropping some DLC, or there's some sort of online or multiplayer bit or something. I know the game doesn't have multiplayer, but there was some extra that was supposed to be coming. So the game comes out pretty much the start of June. You then get all of June, July, August, September, October, November-ish. The PS4 5 will come out in that sort of time. That's when you'll get, I mean, can you call it remastered? Upper mastered.
Yeah.
So yeah, Kinect was pretty good for voice commands, etc., but that's about it. Agreed. The Kinect came free with the Xbox One. I barely used it, mainly used it for Skype and voice chat. Yeah, telling me Xbox One to switch on and open different things was decent. Number One Pirate, thank you very much for the host, and everyone else. If we've missed any things, thank you very much.
I'm fairly certain that the Kinect worked when you was playing FIFA or something like that, because if you called the ref like a bald twat,
you'd get
a booking, yeah.
That is pretty.
That's genius, isn't it?
Although,
like pro clubs, you were getting sent off left, right, and centre.
Just imagine though, you sat there like Champions League. You've got like your League One sort of team all the way up to the Premiership. You're playing a career mode kind of thing. Champions League final, 1-0 down kind of thing. You bring it all back, and it's like, oh, there's only 10 minutes left. Your mate sticks his head in the room, goes, the referee's a wanker. Get a booking.
Second yellow, get sent off,
and lose the game for that. I'd be absolutely raging. Nope. Until the advert came on the TV and it would start the Xbox start up the Xbox itself. I mean, that's a good form.
There was a video years ago of a bloke that had his gamer tag like Xbox power off or something. So like when people are going into the lobbies, they go, Xbox power off? What the fuck? Oh my god, no! And the Xbox would just power off. There's like an half an hour video of him doing that. It's so good.
That's amazing. The Kinect is mainly used by Ghost Hunter TV shows now. That's how dead the usage rate turned out to be. Damn. Was that a joke? Where do we get to? There we go. Let's move forward.
Yeah.
Let's move forward. Let's listen to
fucking love
the
this
sultry
guy.
sounds and tones of Bibberino.
Okay.
Welcome to the Bibby Hour.
Let's move this bad boy in front of the big face. Okay, so this one's on Kotaku and it's been written by Riley Macleod. Oh, I always get the ones with the hard names.
Rory McLeod, but
Right, it says Riley. Definitely says Riley there.
McLeod though, but not McLeod.
McLeod. Okay, cheers, mate. We're both wrong, but
I'm reading it over there.
Okay,
you got it in front of you.
All right, yeah. I've got bad eyes.
Come on, all right. Read about Riley.
Anyway,
McLeod.
my mate Courage is leaving Twitch and is announced today. Unlike other recent Twitch partners, he's not going to Mixer. Instead, he's struck a deal with YouTube and will stream exclusively there. This actually makes sense for him because all of his content is pretty much on YouTube. I mean, when he does stream on Twitch, all he does is just cut it up and then put it on YouTube anyway, so might as well just do it all in one place. But in a video announcing the change, Courage, who has already been on YouTube since 2013, has 1.86 million subscribers, described wanting to leave Twitch in order to make more content and develop new skills. His YouTube channel is currently compromised of reposts from his Twitch streams. Literally just said that.
I mean, chill out, Riley,
you know
Rory, McLeod.
Courage has said what his new YouTube will look like, but his announcement video showed off joke examples of scripted skits, sending up medical and police television shows, so it seems like he's doing more than just a streaming Fortnite. He also noted that he'll still be involved with 100 Thieves as an esports organisation for which he's currently a content creator. I don't want to get stagnant, I feel like I'm stuck in some 9-to-5 job, Courage said in the video. He'll have his debut YouTube gaming stream on November 5th. In departing Twitch, Courage joins the ranks of big streamers like Ninja, Shroud, my boy, and Gothelian. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Gothelian.
Yeah. Though all three of those recent examples went to Mixer. Microsoft's streaming platform Courage Move seems to be more motivated by a desire to create different kinds of videos than simply looking for a new home to stream. In a statement to Variety, Courage said that the deal with YouTube allows me to create more content and engage with my fans in real time. I'm very fortunate to do what I do on a daily basis and welcome my fans to join me in the next phase of my journey. So that's big. Big.
That is big.
I absolutely encourage you. See what I did there?
Hey.
I encourage you to go and watch the video that I posted with his announcement because it is absolute jokes. Like, I'd love to be able to play it, but we will 100% get a copyright written on that, regardless of whether or not there's volume in it or not. But it's so good. Like, the video editors at 100 Thieves, I think it's something that Connor was saying upstairs before, it doesn't matter if they're involved in esports anymore. They've got such a good team behind them of editors, content creators, that they could just create decent content without even being in the esports sphere anymore.
The interesting thing was the article. I say interesting. It seems like a misunderstanding, maybe, from Riley Macleod. There is that Courage hasn't said what his new YouTube will look like, but in his announcement video, he showed a jug example of scripted skits, sending up medical and police television. So it seems like he's looking to do more than just stream Fortnite. That is kind of what he does anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe he's not fully up to speed with. I mean, I'm not entirely up to speed with the likes of Courage. I have watched quite a lot of his content, like his song about Ariana, which everyone sees.
It's amazing. That video was so good. But again, that just shows you what the 100 Thieves team can do with the likes of him and Nadeshot.
It's the creative element around it. I think that's what he was going for there, though. So him having, I mean, the way that almost read, I'm probably misunderstanding what Riley Macleod's saying there in terms of it reads almost as if he expects him to be doing skit shows like that. That's kind of not their vibe. They don't want to do like, because he had Courage 9-5, which was supposed to be, I'm guessing, like Brooklyn 99 kind of thing, and then there was some other skit, I can't remember which was in it, and I think that was just him kind of like showing,
taking the piss.
So I don't expect him to do actual skit shows. I mean, you will get daft comedy skits and really good funny editing and all that kind of thing. I mean, having a like is it called a mariachi band or whatever behind him at the end of it, that for me is the best I'm leaving Twitch video that there's been.
Yeah.
Ninja's like talking to the room kind of thing. Yeah, that was good. I think that was better than Shrouds, if I'm being honest. Shrouds was doing the head up and then his message kind of like appeared in. That was kind of a safe, cool marketing one. Ninja was a bit more narrative.
It was a statement, wasn't it? More or less like it was addressing the people, not like the United States president, but like of. I'm the most important person here at the moment. I'm addressing you because this is what's going to be happening, kind of thing. I'm making the moves now. What just follow on? But this, I think, is probably. I know Ninja's massive, Shroud's massive, but the fact that he is with an organisation as big and as influential as 100 Thieves now only being on YouTube. I can see Nadeshot probably doing the same very soon.
That was the thing for me. Is right at the end of the video. I mean, obviously they made a joke out of it. Like, so you leave 100 Thieves, and it's like, no. And then he says, no, I'm going to join YouTube. And it's kind of Courage is exclusive to YouTube Gaming or something. And it was like powered by or something, a 100 Thieves production or something.
Yeah.
Whilst 100 Thieves is tied to that, it doesn't say that 100 Thieves is going. So Ray, who obviously has a big following on Twitch, Nadeshot has a big following everywhere anyway, but you kind of think that kind of leaves the door open for them to just go, do you know what, we're going to stand back and see how it works, and if it's not, then it's just a little bit something we tried with Courage, and we'll all just stay here now. If it works massively well, then you'll see 100 Thieves just go, okay, YouTube it is. But it's kind of, you've kind of got to feel sorry for Twitch in that sort of respect, because I mean, I was talking about this with Danielle, pretty much every time someone's gone, Twitch can't really do the same back, because who is massive on Mixer that streams that Twitch can go, well, we're going to take your boy, and it's like, okay, well, add their biggest person. I genuinely don't know who it is. I'm not trying to slay it here.
They've got to do it the other way now. They've got to try and pay people to stay with Twitch,
which is exactly what Danielle was saying as well. But that's where you kind of get it. You can kind of get the similarities with real world football in terms of you get clubs like let's say. It's probably a flawed analogy in many ways.
The Sterling thing yesterday.
I was going to say, let's say Twitch is Arsenal. Twitch is Arsenal. They have lots of success and they've had the Invincibles and everyone's paid according to the pay structure. But then all of a sudden, like, people come along and they're like, I'll have this and I've got this money and I can take your guys. And not that that's exactly what happened with Arsenal, but Arsenal have their pay structure. And if they start paying someone a bit more, then I want a bit more as well. And
that's it. See, I know we use a different, same analogy, different team. That's what's happening with Tottenham at the moment. So, like, they've had to break the bank to try and keep Harry Kane kind of thing. But that means, Dele Alli wants a bit more, Ericsson wants a bit more, Vertonghen wants a bit more.
And Son's breaking everyone else.
Yeah. But yeah, 100% that's how it's going to be. I think Twitch will have to start playing people like the Doc, like whoever it is that's the biggest Fortnite streamer that's still in there, because I don't watch Fortnite stuff.
You've got, I mean, probably the likes of Myth and those like that, but you've got to imagine that Twitch now are twitching.
Yeah. Well, Facebook Gaming tried it as well, don't forget.
Yeah, well, they took a bunch of people, paid them exclusive. The difference was Facebook kind of wanted it to seem underground and natural, so they took a bunch of people over, give them a bunch of money and said, look, we'll pay you not mix of ninja figures, but we'll pay you good money to come and stream on Facebook exclusively. But because they didn't market it as a big move, it was just like, it almost was seen as people were dabbling in Facebook and went, it's not working for me, let's go back straight away. A lot of people didn't even notice that a bunch of streamers went to Facebook, didn't like it, and then went back to Twitch.
Well, you had Bateson obviously come back to Twitch, and I think Nepo was one that made his way over to Facebook, and now he's exclusively on Mixer.
Yeah.
So everyone's finding their own feet somewhere. I don't think the Facebook thing's going to take off anytime soon. I don't think they've got a dog in this race.
FB.GG. The issue with Facebook is, and I've seen like Fangs, I know from watching her, she went to Facebook exclusively. I'm not sure if she's still there. I think she's on Mixer now. But like, I was asking her what she thought needed to change from Facebook's perspective. Is you go to Twitch, and whilst it's not a perfect website as a directory in terms of finding people, particularly finding people that you've not seen before, it's quite hard. It's all top heavy. The issue with Facebook is you just don't have that. It's like you go to Facebook and you can find their page. If you type in their name, you can't go, show me who's playing Fortnite now, and get a list of it. It's kind of like, okay, what is We've Got Babinho playing right now, and it's like, if you type in his name, you know who he is. You don't need to follow the channel because you're already following it.
Absolutely.
And Facebook doesn't have that hub. I think that's what they're working on in building that community hub. I mean, Twitch are trying to do a lot of that, so they're having segments on the homepage which are meant to produce to promote smaller communities, to give more people more potential to get eyes on them, as opposed to just having the same select few people in that top wheel on the homepage, where we've been a few times, by the way. Check it out. I know you can't actually check it out. We were there for the Ice Cream Uploads Double Trouble tournament invitational. When was that? Was that like
Invitational? It was. The last one we did was for the end life cycle of 2019.
August?
Yeah.
August, yeah. Anyway. So, I mean, it's difficult for Twitch. They can't poach anyone else. I mean, I suppose you could do. D-Live poached PewDiePie, but people that are on YouTube aren't streaming. People that are on YouTube are making VODs. And that's the reason why YouTube is now poaching Courage. If you're going to stream, you do it on YouTube. So they want to push YouTube gaming. So Twitch can't go after any of YouTube stars because they don't want to live stream. They want to make VODs. Twitch can't go after Mixers guys because they don't have any. Twitch can't go after D-Live because similarly they don't have any. Their market share is tiny compared to the likes of Mixer, which is tiny compared to the likes of YouTube Gaming, which is tiny compared to the likes of Twitch. So Twitch, all it can do is steady its ship, make its offering better. But there was already conversations opening up around that, in terms of from both sides, not just Twitch, but YouTube. If YouTube is paying people to make content for YouTube, then what about the people that have been there forever making content for YouTube? Are they going to start to get a cut? Will that filter down, or will it just be top heavy?
I think this is strictly for the streamers, isn't it? They want to try and promote their Facebook gaming, YouTube gaming. If the YouTube gaming thing is still a thing, they want people to be watching, because it's all about viewing figures, and it's all about time watched, how many people are watching. So if YouTube itself, people say Facebook, if YouTube itself is the number one video platform to be able to watch stuff, I don't know of any other one, barring obviously things like Netflix and that, but for watching community content, YouTube is the number one. So much. If they want to try and bring up the gaming side of it, where people can watch live stuff and make it the home of live streaming and content creation, then making someone who is one of the best content creators, part of the most influential esports or organisations, regardless of if it's in esports or not, they're making big moves. That all they need now is Nadeshot and a few of the other guys.
The interesting thing was, I remember reading an article where someone was asking Nadeshot. He signed, this was back pre-100 Thieves days, he signed exclusively with MLG.TV. All his video content was going to go on MLG.TV, and when that contract expires, we'll talk about it openly now. When it expired, he now can talk about it openly, and he says that was a wrong decision, because what that did was you had all of the viewing audience on Twitch or YouTube, wherever it was at the time, and then he went to MLG.TV, and all that did was split the viewing audience. He had his contract there for 2 years. As soon as that lapsed, he went back to his standard outlets. And he says, I saw it as a negative, didn't like it. It just split the audience. It meant that it was fractured into two components, and it wasn't good for me. I got paid, but it wasn't good for anyone, really. So it'd be interesting to see whether he goes for that, because in his past, in his own words, in his experience, going to MLG.TV just fractured the community, which didn't do him any good. So it'd be interesting to see. We've had some odd jobs in the chat, I can see.
Yes, I'm not going to read them out, but yes, there was some dodgy guys going in there.
Just run back through the comments. Yep, I got booked bare times when playing FIFA when I called the ref a C***T. What's a C***T? Connor says, I love Courage, one of the best and most creative creators around. Perfect for 100 Thieves as well. Saying to Babalian, the Headshot is like best mates with Fwiz. Is he the gaming partnerships guy?
Yeah, YouTube gaming, yeah.
Oh, he actually goes on to it. Who's head of gaming at YouTube. Surprised they haven't done something by now. I've missed most of the scoop today, but I'm sure it was wonderful. Football, offside, goal, says the adventurist in the chat.
I was about to say, have we actually mentioned football? And we have. As always.
Yeah, as always.
Go on, I'll let you take this one. Is this the one that you wanted to go for next? Yep, you got it up on your screen. Boom. Bing. Bing.
Pow.
Bing,
so,
bing.
as we can see on screen, this is a Kotaku article written by Brian Ashcraft. In the future, Hideo Kojima says his studio will make films.
Again, I think this is something that we talked about yesterday, or we have talked about previously.
In the future? Has he not been doing that all the time, pretty much? For a guy who says that 70% of his body is made of movies, this seems like it's been a long time coming. In a 26-minute BBC documentary on the making of Death Stranding, Hideo Kojima reveals the inevitable. In the future, Kojima Productions will also start making films, Kojima said. If a person can do one thing well, then they should be able to do anything well.
What?
Okay, not sure about that comment. Kojima did not clarify when the studio will start making films. Kotaku reached out to Kojima Productions, but did not hear prior to publication. I think within the next 3 to 4 years, everything will move to streaming. Games, movies, and TV shows. We're pretty much there with TV shows and movies. When that happens, Kojima continues, movies, TV shows, and games will be competing in the same space. Kojima is interested in the type of entertainment that will inevitably arise from this competition. Considering how long the cutscenes in Kojima's games have been, and how much he loves movies, it might seem odd that he hasn't made a motion picture already. That's kind of what I was hinting at when I said he's only just starting to make movies when the cutscene stuff. I mean, let's jump back for a second. Before we jump into the meat of it, if a person can do one thing well, then they should be able to do anything well.
He's definitely been dropped on his head recently, Annie, because it's just some of the stuff that's pouring out.
Is that... I'm not sure. I'm thinking that's a mistranslation, because that does happen, obviously, with Kojima quite a bit. Because I'm not sure...
Does it mean, like, when it comes to creating a video game, like he's pretty much directed the entire thing, and he's produced and directed and starred in and everything else according to
wrote the theme tune, sang the theme tune.
So does it mean, like, if you can produce well in a video game, you can produce well in a film? I hope that's what it means.
I think that's probably an incorrect way of saying if you have transferable skills and you're good at one thing, you'd be good in something that your skills can be transferred to. I think that's probably what he's saying, which in that sense, I mean, there's the phrase jack of all trades, master of none, which I actually learned yesterday isn't the full phrase. It's actually, that's all you ever hear, jack of all trades, master of none, which means you crap, but it's not what it means. Jack of all trades, master of none, and then it goes on to something like but better than being able to do none, or something like that. So it's actually a good comment. Anyway, that reads as if he's saying if one person can do well, they can do anything. It's like, okay, you can make a dynamite sandwich, so you should be in charge of Wall Street banking. Clearly he's not speaking in that sense, but for a man that works in a creative element, a creative industry, like the games industry, all his gameplay is based on narrative, direction. I'm assuming I'm going to read that as he's saying that he can use his skills on something that's in the same vein as opposed to just anything. I mean, he probably could make a mean bacon sandwich, but I'm assuming that's probably not what he's going after there.
But yeah, like Next Gen Renegade says, a Metal Gear movie, please. Yeah, please.
A Metal Gear movie? Did you not play Metal Gear Solid 4? That was the movie. I mean, I'd absolutely smash a Metal Gear Solid movie all day, particularly if it went back to 3. Make me a Snake Eater movie. I will be happy. But yeah, Kojima stepping out into films. I mean, I don't really think that's a surprise for anyone, because as the first line says, I'm not sure if it still is in his Twitter bio, but his Twitter bio used to be, my body is 70% movies, or made of 70%, or something like that, which is what he's saying there. So he's kind of been there anyway, and obviously he's got Mads Mikkelsen and Reedus and Seydoux and Del Toro, massive movie and TV names in his latest release, and then before that, his last game, he had Keith Sutherland as the main character, and shitloads of other actors. Anyway, he doesn't just go, oh, let's get some actors in and let's make something for TV. He like fully understands.
He handpicks his talent, doesn't he?
And everything around it as well. Not only does he handpick his talent, I do think that some of his choices are kind of from a very Kojima pool. So choosing Leia Seydoux, I don't think she was chose because she was Leia Seydoux. I think she chose because she was a Bond woman. So and he knows the Bond films are good and he likes that thing, which is nothing wrong with that. But that's a very Kojima thing in my sort of mind. Just in the same way that I would use people that I know that can deliver a job, or people that, which is good because that's representative of him. But he doesn't just pick Leia Seydoux because she's a Bond woman. He picks Leia Seydoux because she's a Bond woman or whatever reason, but then he chooses the camera angles to present her. He chooses the lighting. He has input into the wording. It's like he fully edits everything that's involved. I remember, and it's funny because I was listening to kind of Funny Games Daily, and they touched on exactly the thing that came to mind when they were talking about this yesterday. They mentioned the opening scene of Ground Zeroes. Ground Zeroes is the precursor to the Phantom Pain, and in that scene you arrive at the camp in the game in a Jeep, and I remember doing the social media at the time and reading Kojima's take on that. It's like an 8-minute scene, I think it is, and in Kojima's own words, there was segments of it where like the camera's down low, and I was just thinking, oh, it's a cool camera angle, nice. And he's like, no, because you've got guard dogs and things there. He wanted to kind of put you in the position of what the guard dogs were seeing, and hearing it. When he talks through it, you're like, fuck, okay, there's so much depth and more deeper meaning to why he's going for those. I mean, a lot of it is lost on a simple man like me. Oh, yeah, I
can't imagine what his notepad would have looked like. He would have just gone through every single fine detail. So, like, he is a genius, there's no two ways about it, but it's lost on someone like me.
Oh, like mostly on me. I will sit there and I'll go, that's fucking amazing. Yeah. And then like that hidden meaning, yeah. And someone's going, I think that's the hidden meaning. Did you not see the one that's 17 meters? Like, but yeah, I mean, that's not the kind of the takeaway from this article for me. Is Kojima's going to make films. It's kind of a given.
You'd expect that.
But the bit for me is where he says, within the next 3 to 4 years, everything will move to streaming, games, movies, and TV shows. When that happens, I'm wiping the spit off my screen because I've just tweeted all over it. When that happens, movies, TV shows, and games will be competing in the same space. Kojima is interested in type of entertainment that will inevitably arise from this competition. That's the bit that's interesting for me. I remember going back 10 to 15 years, whenever I was at uni, and having a discussion on media convergence. Convergence is everything coming together and being in one pot. And traditional media doesn't like convergence. Press, written newspaper doesn't like convergence because digital is much more freely accessible. You can get the newspaper on your laptop without going anywhere, and that puts them out of a job. And we've seen that obviously since 10, 15 years ago. Hardly anyone buys newspapers compared to what they used to do. People still do, but not in the same format. But it's interesting to see how movies and TV shows, we're starting to get there now. You can get Netflix on your PS4 and watch it there. But if game creators are starting to make their own content, and you've got subscription services like the Xbox Game Pass, like PlayStation Now, and there was that PlayStation TV like add-on stuff that wasn't a subscription. But will you start to get Kojima being like making content funded by Sony first party? I mean, maybe I think you're probably more likely to see someone like Microsoft maybe starting that. Sony, I'd imagine, maybe might be slower on the uptake, but
yes, and I think it would do. The fact that it's coming to PC probably. Because the seal's already been broken now. I think he's open to be working with whoever he wants to work with. But yeah, he'll do whatever he feels right, whether or not it's normal or straightforward, which is, again, is part of his genius, isn't it? He'll do whatever he needs to do to make the product that he wants to make, whether or not he wants a certain demographic of people to see it, whether or not he wants everybody to see it, he'll do whatever he needs to do.
Yeah, it's just how that get out of the way. It's just how that's going to live. That's what I want to see. Like 3 to 4 years time, maybe it's probably going to be a bit longer than that. Any embedding new technology of that converging type tends to take a bit longer. It will probably be there on the periphery, but if you're getting games, TVs, and movies in the same space, if he's making movies, is he going to be making movies that complement his games? Is it going to be something completely different?
Well, this the new game, the Death Stranding games, never complemented. It did. People, I think, wanted to go into it. There was two types of people, and we can see that from the reviews that have come out. There's two types of people that are going into it. People who are going to be playing it because they are massive fans of him, or massive fans of Metal Gear Solid, or people because they thought, oh, Jesus Christ, what is this game going to be? Is it going to be a masterclass? Is it going to be genre-defining game? And I think you can tell by the reviews that have come out that it is one of the other. Like, you got one, I don't know, I haven't read the reviews since we covered it, or either yesterday or Friday. But there was one reviewer that gave it a 35, and everybody else, and everybody else give it either a 90,
down to about 60.
Yeah, so it was going to resonate with some people and not with others. I'm probably never going to play this game. I was excited. I was kind of excited to play it because obviously of his Metal Gear background, but I know full well that it's not going to have anything that's Metal Gear in it at all. I don't think there's any combat. And it seems to be exactly what we thought it was, a delivery service game.
See, I listened to, that BBC documentary thing that was in there on the way home yesterday. Turned on the radio as soon as I left the office, got in the car, and the first thing that came up was like Newsbeat, and we've got Stefan Powell, who's in Tokyo at Kojima Productions for a behind-the-scenes thing. He was there a few months ago as the game went gold. And that was kind of useful to me in terms of giving some of the background as to what the meanings are behind it, and this is where it does start to get probably a bit too deep for me. Like, the game is based on like building bridges, as they call it. I don't know if that means literal bridges, like so you're working with new people or whatever, and it's like metaphoric for the current political situation in the world, and that is quite nice. That is quite deep, but at the same time, I watch films with explosions and loud bangs.
Yeah.
So
I just want action.
I will play it, no doubt. Whether I get to the end of it, because I think even on easy mode, where there's like an easy mode where you can just go through the story kind of thing, I'm hearing that's still like 30 odd hours, 35 hours.
Yeah, that's not for me.
But I
love storytelling in games, but to a degree where I want to be invested in the gameplay, not just watching the cutscenes, which is a complete contradiction because I like games like Until Dawn, which was pretty much just 95% cutscenes and then you make choices around it. But yeah, it's...
I'll try it. I'm saying I probably won't get through it. That's only based off of what I'm hearing. I could get in there and I go, do you know what, this absolutely resonates with me.
I think I'll be the exact opposite, so I'm not going to give it... if someone said, do you want to play this game for 40 hours, I'll give you the time, then probably, yeah, but it's never going to...
Well, welcome to next week on Ashcraft, where maybe plays a game for 40 hours. Wow. But let's move on. We have one more piece of news to talk about, and it's a pretty interesting one. Go on then, Bibberino, I'll let you take this.
Oh my god. All right, brace yourself, guys. So, this one is on IGN, and it's been written by Joseph Knoop.
Actually, before you move forward, one comment that I did want to pick up before we move away from the Kojima comment from... The Adventurist in the chat says, Kojima's comment that if you can do one thing well, then sure you should be able to do anything well. And he says, if they do one thing well, they should be able to do anything well. Yes, I'm a pretty good guitarist. Now hand me my hunting rifle, darling. I would shoot the apple above your head.
Yeah, because that's how everything works.
Which is interesting. Morning, Beans. How the devil are you? Nice founders sub badge.
It's delightful. I love to see it.
Nice gift leader badge as well. He's like
things you love to see.
G. Anyway, back to the news. Maybe with the next article.
So this again is on IGN, and it's been written by Joseph. Esports professional FaZe Jarvis K revealed in a YouTube posting on November 3rd that he'd been permanently banned from Fortnite after using an aimbot. Yikes. In the emotional 6-minute video, Jarvis apologised for his actions, claiming that he only used the aimbot in Fortnite's casual solos mode playground while he was making video content for his followers on YouTube and Twitch. He also stated that he'd never used the hack while playing in competitive mode. If you are unfamiliar with the term, an aimbot is a cheat players can use to perfectly auto-focus your weapon's aim on enemies. These types of hacks are usually frowned upon in the gaming community if caught, frequently resulting in bans in games. Obviously, this was a huge mistake and completely wrong on my end, the FaZe member said in his video. Genuinely, I don't believe that I was doing... genuinely, I don't even know what I was thinking. Cheating in anything is just terrible. He stated later in a... Oh, Jesus Christ almighty. He later stated in the video that he would have accepted any punishment from Epic. We have zero tolerance on policy for usage of cheat software, Epic told IGN statement. When people use aimbots or other cheat technologies to gain an unfair advantage, they ruin games for people who play who like to play fairly. It's just... falling out my face, words and things. And the Fortnite Terms of Service Agreement, which does the ban use of cheat bot scripting, blah blah blah, as you'd expect in any kind of game. Well, a professional Fortnite player states that he can only use an aimbot during casual solos mode and playground modes. It's fair to say the use of an aimbot likely hindered the experience of solo mode players who were attempting to win the match, grind experience points, or finish Chapter 2's challenges. Now, if he was to use this aimbot and then post a video on YouTube showing that he's using an aimbot, then regardless of what he thought, it's still wrong.
Yeah.
Like, he's got nobody else to blame but himself. I mean, the rest of the article just goes on with a few more comments. Go and watch the video if you want to hear the full story. But the long and short of it is, he was using an aimbot in a game that other people was playing in the same game, giving him an unfair advantage. He got caught. Game over.
Yep. I agree with that. I haven't, I think, fully formed my opinion, and I definitely hadn't yesterday when we were talking about it upstairs, chatting with Connor, and I was saying that if he wasn't using it in a competitive environment, and let's bring you in closer, if he wasn't using it in a competitive environment, then to perma-ban his account, give him lifetime bans, potentially lose all his career and everything like that, that is quite a harsh punishment. But then we obviously, that was just my first take on it, but then obviously you start to look at all of the elements involved, and it's like terms of service clearly state that any form of aimbotting, any form of cheating will result in a ban, which it says there, that comment. The Fortnite's terms of service agreement, which does ban the use of cheats, bots, scripts or mods not expressly authorised by Epic, so anything that gives you an unfair advantage like that will result in a ban. It says it in the terms of service. Nobody ever reads the term of service, but it was in there. I mean, it's easy enough for me to say nobody ever reads the term of service, but
is a pro player. Yeah,
your job is playing the game. If you get a contract for a new job, chances are, even if you don't read it word for word, chances are you will go through that contract and know what your job entails, what people require of you.
It's also part of FaZe.
Yeah, well, exactly. So the idea that he's gone through that, I mean, it is so easy. The issue is if you go to work at Ice Cream, you will have interviews and you will have team meetings and you'll sit down and stuff like that. The issue with a content creator doesn't have that, and that's probably a systemic issue that's bigger than this one, in terms of content creators quite often will make stupid mistakes, and it is literally just stupid mistakes. They've not thought about it. It's just gone, oh, well, I can get some cool highlights by using an aimbot. But I'm not cheating because it's not competitive. And in his mind, he's thinking, if he was in an office environment, someone would go, mate, it's still cheating. And they go, oh yeah, fuck yeah, I suppose. And boom, that's it, squash. But because he's a solo guy and he's not got that spot or whatever.
Yeah. Scenario, throw this one at you. He's a pro player, so he plays in compet mode all the time. He's got into a mode which, when all said and done, me and you would probably be playing in, because it's not competitive. Well, you still play for whatever it is that you need to play for, like XP points,
Your
blah blah
grinding, your
blah.
pass and stuff like that.
Exactly. Now we're not pro players. We would be playing for enjoyment or to try and get our character to a level where we can be able to say, actually, I'm level 65. I've nearly cleared the battle pass. I'm doing really well. He's going to a mode knowing that he's probably better than 99 players in that map. He doesn't need the aimbot, but he's ruining the experience for people who are just dipping in to play the game that they actually enjoy playing. They're never going to be good enough to be able to play in a competitive mode. So when you get someone who's a pro coming into that mode, they're not ruining it because they're still grinding, they're still playing, but the only way that you get better is by playing with other good players. You get to learn from them. But he's going in to ruin the experience for people who aren't good at the game, shall we say.
That was the take that I didn't really have in my mind when I was chatting with Connor yesterday, saying it's if he's only using it in a casual stuff, then it's not really cheating. But I was thinking purely from an esports context then. But we've seen it already in this show. I got done by a game-breaking bug. The desync between PlayStation and Xbox. I got shot whilst I shouldn't have been shot. It fecking annoyed me to the point that I clipped it and posted it on social media last night. And that ruins my engagement, my immersion in a product that I've invested my time and money into. So people out there have done that, and it is shit. Whilst there is all sorts of debates around the systemic issues around whether content creators are being given the almost PR briefing. If you work in a game's house, and you'll get a PR briefing. If you've got to sit and talk to the media, you'll get a briefing of what you can do, what you can't do, and the reasons why. These guys probably don't get that, or not to that extent. Maybe FaZe do some of that. I mean, obviously FaZe are massive, but clearly esports or content creation industries in general, that's not something that people get. A lot of people make stupid mistakes because there's no one there to go, mate, that's stupid. Yeah. But that doesn't I mean, that was my first thought. It's probably a bit strict and it's a bit stern because he's not had this. But the only way the industry can learn is to have repercussions, and especially if people sat there using their own time, effort, money, playing, grinding, as it said. I mean, the way that they've listed it out here is maybe it was further up. They're kind of essentially what we've just said there. Where he's saying, it's fair to say that an aimbot likely hindered the experience of solo mode players who are attempting to win the match, grind experience points, or finish Chapter 2's challenges. Imagine you've only got a set amount of time left. You've got, in terms of your life, you've got today, tomorrow, Wednesday, or whatever. And you go on holiday, so the season pass finishes on Friday. You won't be able to play Thursday, Friday. You've only got a certain amount of time. This was the time where you're in the top, and then someone aimbots you from whatever. Oh, you'd be absolutely furious, especially if you are a streamer that wants to be able to play with the friends. You're playing with three other, obviously, because it's a solos mode. Take that with a pinch of salt. But if you're playing with your friends and you're just having a good time, you got your community, you're streaming and stuff like that, and then all you're seeing from your kill cam is just people using aimbots and stuff like that. It's not it's not showing the game off in a good light, and two, you just become if that was happening to me live on stream, my head would have fallen right off, absolutely. And then everybody else would be like, what the fuck's this shit going on? And the whole mentality of your chat, you and your crew that you're playing with, just goes right out the window when you just got a little cheating bastard that's putting aimbots and stuff like that on. It's out of order, and again, my stance is still exactly the same as when I read the first line of the title of this, saying aimbot pro gets banned. Cheating means cheating. You know what? Brexit means Brexit. Yeah. Breakfast means breakfast. As if a FaZe member doesn't know aimbots aren't allowed. But that's the thing. It's obvious. It's stupidly obvious. Cheating. But it's also probably so obvious. And the thing with content creators and stuff, just like anyone would, you see the world from your perspective, and I mean, I don't know much about Jarvis, so I could be giving him benefit of the doubt, and he could full well know what he was on about. But he could be a content creator that's based in a world of esports, and from his narrow-minded view, could see that if I'm not cheating in esports, then it doesn't matter because casual is where nothing matters. But that's from his elevated position of my world is esports. Yeah. Casual is below me. It doesn't count. Whereas we are massive potatoes. Yeah. So for me, casual is like, well, I'm never going to go up there to the world of esports. So this is my arena. This is where aimbotted. But it's so obvious to people like us. If you just remove from that situation that common sense, and common sense is easy to be misplaced in a lot of people, particularly if you're out of the loop and if you don't have that feedback loop of having someone sat there to just go, mate. I mean, it's like you get a job in an office, in a building site or whatever. You're that guy that gets the piss taken out of you and making brews or whatever your first couple of weeks or months or whatever. In not all that's obviously stereotyping, but that's kind of how it happens. You earn your stripes, and a lot of content creators and esports pros don't have that feedback loop quite a lot of the time. So if he'd have just been discussing that with someone, if he had a production team around him, like,
I'm making a video today where I'm using an aimbot in a game.
Are you?
No.
All right.
No.
I mean, you would do that in terms of the BBC did a piece on cheating just last week about the Dutch kid that's just been sued by, was it CS, because he makes cheats and stuff and sells and makes like $1,000 a day selling cheats online. But the BBC played some cheat stuff. Obviously, they weren't playing under BBC on Twitch.com or whatever. Like they were playing under different kind. There is ways and means of going around underground investigative journalism. And if he was doing it to show off the hacks and stuff, then there is ways around that.
But why would you want to promote that anyway? It's bonkers to me.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I personally think an esports pro should just keep away from all of that shit. You don't get involved in
Well, let's just hope that the content that he is creating is good enough to be able to keep bringing in money in, because he ain't going to be playing in esports anytime soon. Maybe you can make a series of how to make a house on Fortnite, like just build this 14-story house by chopping down trees and getting more wood and building. And I don't know. I'm just giving you ideas here, mate, because at the moment you ain't winning anything in esports.
One of those always on outdoor webcams. Day 12.
Yeah.
FaZe Jarvis has a nail in his hand because, as we have seen, common sense is no longer common, as David says in the chat.
Well, he seems to have put the final nail in his coffin. So I've got no sympathy. Unlucky lad, you've been caught out.
Do you think he was phased by his ban? Thank you, I'm here all day. Hashtag dad joke, says Pirate in the chat. Laughable, isn't it? Used hacks and then cries about it. That's what I will give him some bit of praise there. He doesn't. It doesn't read as so much as like the full statement is kind of taking it on his chin and admitting to being a pillock.
Yeah.
The tone of it kind of reads to me as in, look, yeah, I didn't even think about it being wrong. I just did, and it's all my fault. I fucked up. So I do take it. He's kind of like taking it on board in that sort of sense, which fair play. I mean, you have fucked up.
Yeah.
But I mean, what's his ban? Is it like a 12-month ban, or
I think it's a permanent ban. I think they banned everything. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. See, that is where I think the only way you can rectify that sort of situation is, and it's not going to happen, is for FaZe to go, yeah. We're working with Epic to make sure that our guys are fully briefed on what is acceptable in a content creator sphere, in an esports sphere, and whatever. And we're just going to make sure that education fixes this. And on the back of that, Epic can go, do you know what? We've seen like almost like good behaviour in prison. We've seen the good behaviour and the activity to kind of fix it. We're going to lower it to a 12-month ban, and fair enough, we can see is helping to educate others around it. But for that to happen, FaZe will then need to go, yeah, okay, we're not doing our part here, and I don't think that they'll do that.
I would hope that Epic's reply to the email would just be 2 words: don't cheat.
Lol, mate.
Oh, still banned. Something like that. I don't know, just something banterous like that, because they've got absolutely nothing to lose. They don't want cheaters in the game. They don't want to promote cheaters. All the negative PR that's come out of this, with every single outlet reporting on this, is just saying this particular person's cheated in the game. If anything, that's the lesson. Don't cheat in the game. Epic won't ban you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that said, I mean, bans can be turned around, because
absolutely.
Kurt got unbanned from FIFA tournaments yesterday.
Did he now? It's a big yikes.
Yeah.
If anybody's learned anything out of this, it's make sure you got 2-step verification on your account, because mate, people will be coming for you.
Yeah. If you don't know what that is, then we're not drawing attention to it because it's quite malicious, but we will talk about it. We won't show it so much, but some of the community guys that work on the FIFA games that I actually know quite well, really nice people, but they had their accounts compromised yesterday, and on some elements I can see the humour in it, but from another element it's quite horrible, really.
Absolutely, especially when you just have general conversations going through your DMs with other people, and they've now had that compromise, regardless of whether or not there's people snitching or having private conversations like for what my family's going through at the moment now, if I'm having a conversation with someone in the DMs, they now know more about my personal life than I would ever
be in there. I mean, the comedy comes around the use of the social accounts doing a U-turn. So that is quite paradoxical in its nature, as in like, oh no, we take it back, he's fine, he can play it. That in itself is quite funny, but soon as you get past that little bit of a paradoxical twinge, you then get to, okay, some guy has had his account, his secure space like violated. It's like someone going into your bedroom in essence. Someone's gone through your private drawers, someone's gone through all your notebooks, and yeah, it's a bit shit. Anyway, we'll leave it there. We don't want to draw too much attention to it, but yeah, hopefully that all gets fixed very, very soon. But if you want to know more, then you have your own social media channels. You can go check it out, and whilst you're there, feel free to check out these social media channels too. !mark socials in the chat on twitch.tv/ice cream uploads brings up all our social media links. I'm looking up there like we did yesterday, but you guys are there. So let's move you up there so we know. So twitch.tv/ice cream uploads. As you can see from the TVs here in the studio, we are just about to wrap up Tuesday's episode of The Scoop. We bring you The Scoop every single day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday at 10 a.m. UK time. Roughly an hour or so afterwards, the full video will be able to watch on demand on YouTube, and a little bit later on in the day you can listen to us directly into your ears on Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud and Google Play. So make sure you've hit those links in the chat. Give them all a follow, give them all a subscription, do whatever you want to do, just do it so that you don't miss us next time. And if you are watching on Twitch, hit the follow button right now. Do it now, because you'll get a little notification when we go live at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Absolutely.
But that's not just it for today. We do have more content today, don't we, babe?
We do. Josie will be playing through, as far as I'm aware, Dishonored 2 in roughly 15 minutes time. So once this is finished, we'll get the studio sorted out. The broadcast will start live again in about 20 minutes or so, and you can get some Dishonored goodness in your life.
Yeah. So if you got nothing else to say, is that us done for The Scoop?
That is us done, mate.
That is us done. Okay, see you in about 15 minutes. Well, I won't, but Josie will for more Dishonored 2. And if you're not around then, please feel free to come back 10 a.m. tomorrow morning when we bring you another sexy instalment of The Scoop. Until then, stay frosty.